Legends ZA has released, and as you all may know, this game gave us quite the dex when it comes to power. We have so many mons to choose from in order to beat these games, but just what are the strongest ones you can choose for your team? Today, I want to talk about the best options for every single type in the game so you can make sure you're prepped for any potential opponents you may encounter. If there are any strong Pokemon that I may have missed, be sure to give them a mention in the comments below. But with that said, let's get into our first Pokemon. For our best normal type, we're taking a look at Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny is a fairly potent Mega Evolution, especially when it comes to its base stats. While it does have to deal with ghost types walling it out, that's honestly not as big of a deal given the fact you'll deal high damage to most other opponents anyway. You can get Baneri pretty early on too by just unlocking Wild Area 6 where you can go and capture it. From there, you'll want to unlock the Lopunite, which is available after Main Mission 10 in the Quasar Tico Inc. building for 180 Mega Shards. It's a pretty easy Mega Evolution to obtain overall, if we're being honest. And Lopunny's Mega will provide you with one of the fastest Megas in the game at such an early point in your journey. I can't imagine using any other normal type for your journey. Mega Lopunny truly sets the bar pretty high, especially for such an otherwise mediocre typing. Meanwhile, our best fighting type Mega Evolution ends up being Mega Gallade. Gallade is another Pokemon that truly has a phenomenal typing and move pool. While with abilities, options like Lucario would potentially stand out as stronger options for Megas, but because we're talking about just their base stats, Mega Gallade ends up hitting significantly harder for only a minuscule reduction in its base speed. Mega Gallade also ends up being a pretty easy Mega Evolution to obtain, as you'll get a Ralts in either Vert Sector 4 or Vert Sector 9. From there, you'll need to get the Dawnstone to evolve into Gallade, which is on the rooftop of a mall by Wild Zone 3. And this area becomes accessible after completing Main Mission 5. Our last roadblock to obtaining Mega Gallade would be the Galladeite, which we can obtain in Quasar Tico Inc. for 240 Mega Shards after beating Main Mission 25. While this is certainly quite a bit later than an option like Mega Lopunny, Gallade on its own can still pack a punch early on until you get its Mega Stone, especially given its strong coverage options it's obtained over the years. Our best flying type Mega and our best dragon type end up being fairly interchangeable, as both options end up being both dragon and flying type Pokemon. These two options would be Mega Salamence and Mega Dragonite. Both options end up being fairly terrifying mons if we're being honest, with Mega Mence being a really fast physical attacker, and Mega Dragonite being a bulkier special attacker with still a fairly strong speed stat. Both Megas take a bit to obtain, with Mega Salamence being slightly easier, though Bagon itself is a far later encounter. You'll need Wild Area 18 to get Bagon, with its Mega Stone being available after Main Mission 30 for 360 Mega Shards at Quasar Tico Inc. Meanwhile, Dratini's encounter is available on top of the roof for Restaurant Lana once you unlock the Roto Glide feature, but its Mega Stone isn't obtainable until you've beaten its Rogue Mega Evolution fight during Main Mission 32. While these are certainly both extremely late Mega Evolutions, most dragons are, if we're being honest. And Mega Dragonite and Mega Mence are still well above their competitors for other flying type options, as Mega Charizard Y is a pretty substantial step below both without drought, and every other flying type only gets worse than Charizard Y. Moving on to Poison, our best Pokemon is by far Mega Gengar. Mega Gengar has some of the best offensive stats of any Pokemon in these games, and a powerful offensive move pool. Poison and Ghost are very hard to resist outside of Dark types, which Gengar gets its own coverage for anyway with Dazzling Gleam and Focus Blast. To get your own Mega Gengar, you can actually capture a Gengar during Main Mission 20 in the Old House. You'll get the Gengarite from the Stone Emporium after Main Mission 10 for 50,000, making it the easiest Mega Stone to obtain thus far. You should be able to get a Mega Gengar pretty immediately upon unlocking Mega Evolution, and thus, with that, it'll proceed to help you breeze the game. One of the new megas that ends up being a monster in these games is Mega Excadrill, our strongest ground type mega. Mega Excadrill gives Excadrill the perfect buffs it needed to its attack and speed, and it truly is a monster. If you guys saw the best team, well, there you go. You can thankfully obtain this rather early as well, as Drillbur are obtainable as early as Wild Area 8. Its Megastone is obtainable rather early as well, since you can obtain it after main mission 15 and Quasar Tico Inc. for 360 shards. While this ends up being one of the more expensive Megastones, for such an early Mega Excadrill, it proves to be so easily worth it, as that ground and steel typing will be so useful into a majority of the important battles you'll fight due to its powerful offensive and defensive synergy. There isn't too much else to say about Mega Excadrill other than how it's just better Excadrill, and we all know how powerful Excadrill has been over the years as it is. While Rock is a pretty terrible typing, Mega Aerodactyl is a spectacular rock type that truly is very easy to get for players. All it takes to obtain is buying an old Amber in the Stone Emporium for 30,000 Poke, before bringing it to Mabel's lab to revive. Once you do this, and once you unlock Quasar Tico Inc., you can buy the Aerodactyl Light for 240 Mega Shards. Mega Aerodactyl is such a phenomenal Pokemon to get so early on, and it might arguably be the strongest option you could be obtaining at this point in the game due to the lack of abilities. Mega Aerodactyl will probably need a good partner to handle ground and steel type mons, but they should be fairly manageable for a Pokemon with such obnoxious stats. And your starter mon should guarantee at least handling one of these types anyway. Bug is truly the very worst typing in the game though, but Mega Heracross is actually a really strong contender here for the best Mega Evolution. Because we lack abilities, both Scizor and Beedrill's Megas take a pretty big hit in usability. But Mega Heracross is actually a really strong option that you obtain with genuinely minimal effort. You actually get a Heracross early on from one of your earliest missions by trading a Pikachu. Say hi to one of the boys. Meaning you can get a Heracross that levels up very easily while also having it use Mega Evolution once you get to Quasar Tico Inc. and trade it in for 240 shards. Outside of the starters and Absol, this is arguably the easiest Mega Evolution to obtain in the game due to the fact you're just given the Pokemon outright. Mega Heracross will truly be a powerhouse for your team, I speak from experience. With that obnoxious 185 attack, just avoid any flying objects and you're pretty much good to go. We're finally moving on from bad typings for a bit and going to the exact opposite end of the spectrum, tackling one of the best types, Ghost. Mega Chandelure ends up being quite a standout option for the Ghost type Megas, with a massive buff to its stats in general, especially special attack. While Mega Chandelure is kind of obnoxious to get due to Litwick being such a pain to catch, it truly is worth your time. This Mega is insane. Its special attack at base 75 is one of the highest in the game, and you have an offensive typing that is insanely difficult to switch around. To get your own, you'll need to go to the Lumiose source to get a Litwick in the northern portion. From there, once you evolve it to Lampet, you'll need a Duskstone, which the easiest location I could recommend would be this spot in Southern Boulevard on the rooftop, as it's accessible at any point in your journey. Once you beat main mission 12, which should be the mission directly after your sewers journey, you can buy the Chandelurite from Quasar Tico Inc. for 360 shards, which ends up being fairly convenient timing given Litwick's encounter. Steel is a type known with a lot of powerful Mega Evolutions. And in particular, I want to give a massive shout out to Mega Skarmory, who ends up being a very impressive standout in this game. Mega Skarmory ends up being a really strong offensive Pokemon that gets a lot of good utility, such as spikes, to get very quick damage onto enemies. Steel and Flying is also such a powerful typing defensively that Mega Skarmory ends up being very difficult to KO. You can obtain your own in Wild Area 17, And then once you finish main mission 25, you can get the Skarmory for 240 Mega Shards from Quasartico Inc. Mega Skarmory is certainly a strong late game encounter, and I highly recommend it for your team as it will help quite a bit with the late game rogue megas. We're now moving on to our starter type trios, which I think it's time to mention that for this section, I am not going to include the Kalos Megas, or Greninja and Delphox would end up being the best options easily due to their frankly very obnoxious megas. Their stones only have a 2-week window to obtain, so for your playthrough, it's just not reliable to obtain either mega. Though, if you have the chance to, I recommend them both over our respective choices for Fire and Water Mons. That said though, our best choice for Fire is going to end up being Charizard X. Mega Charizard X ends up being a powerful mixed attacker, and despite the lack of Tough Claws, it still ends up outclassing the other types that are practically available due to its Dragon and Fire typing just being that impactful. Charmander can actually be a gift encounter from a side mission Mabel will give you. You just need to fight Lita during main mission 8, then heal, and she will call you to choose a Kanto starter. You can then buy the Charizardite X from the Stone Emporium for 100,000 Pokédollars. While this is one of the most expensive Mega Stones in the game, Charizard X is certainly worth it in my opinion. Now, our backup to Greninja for our best water type mon is easily going to be Mega Feraligatr. Mega Feraligatr ends up being one of our 3 starters in ZA, and the new water and dragon typing makes it a true threat as it is very difficult to KO. Mega Feraligatr's Megastone you actually get during main mission 10 if you choose Totodile as your starter, so you should be more than fine to get one by just playing the story. The same goes for our best grass type option, Mega Meganium, as its requirements to obtain are quite literally the same as Mega Feraligatr's. If you want to use both on your team though, you're out of luck, as the stones are only available for the other 2 starters you didn't choose post-game. Our best electric type ends up being a pretty cool Mega Electros, which you can get pretty easily thankfully. Mega Electros got a pretty well-rounded stat spread, and it ends up having the best coverage of any electric type Mega in the game, so you can adjust it to any battle you may encounter. To get your own, you'll need access to Wild Area 10 to catch your Tynamo. You can get a Thunderstone to evolve your electric from that same mission you'll obtain your Heracross early on, so you won't have to spend any time worrying about finding one. As for its Mega Stone though, once you've beaten Canary, you can buy the stone from Quasartico Inc. for 240 shards. Our electric type Megas honestly end up being some of the most underwhelming selection in the game. But if you do want one on your team, Mega Electros can at least perform well against enough enemies due to its strong move pull helping it out quite a bit. I'm sure most people expected this for our best Steel Mega, but I saved it for Psychic instead. So now, it's time to talk about the best Psychic Mega, Mega Metagross. Mega Metagross is a fairly late game encounter, but it is a powerful option for your team for certain. You'll be able to catch a Beldum in Lysander's lab during main mission 35, and thankfully, by this point in the game, you'll already be able to buy the Metagross site from Quasartico Inc. after mission 30. Mega Metagross will be a strong force to be reckoned with for this late game portion of the story. Though, if you want another Psychic that's available earlier on, an option like Mega Alakazam could suffice here, but due to trait evolutions not being accessible until post-game, aside from Gengar, Mega Alakazam did not make the cut. Ice has been a pretty bad typing for Megas, but Mega Frostlass actually is a halfway decent option for the typing. Mega Frostlass you can obtain with a Snow Run in Wild Zone 12, and thankfully, you can just evolve this with the Dawn Stone so you aren't stuck with Snorunt for too long. If you used your Dawn Stone on Mega Gallade already, you're in luck, as there are a few other locations, such as some scaffolding in Rogue Sector 1 that's blocked by some rocks. The Frostlass site will take a bit of time to unlock though, as it is unlocked after main mission 27. Though, given its Ice-type competition, if you are insistent on using an Ice-type, this wait is well worth it. Moving towards Dark-type Megas, Mega Gyarados is our best choice here. Mega Gyarados is a fairly powerful option, especially considering options that are comparable in strength, like Mega Tyranitar, lack their abilities. Mega Gyarados going through a type change helps it out quite a bit in terms of making out for the lack of its abilities. Mega Gyarados also has a really well-rounded stat line, and plenty of ways to deal a high amount of damage. If you want your own Mega Gyarados, you can catch Magikarp as early as Wild Area 2, but you can also just catch a Gyarados in Wild Area 11 if you'd rather skip evolving a Magikarp. Since you can just get the Gyarados site after main mission 10, it makes more sense to just buy the Gyarados site and evolve a Magikarp rather than wait until you unlock Wild Area 11, since it's a fairly cheap Mega Stone from Quasar Tico Wink, only costing 180 Mega Shards. For our final typing, we're going to be covering our best Fairy type Mega. Now, because this Mega Stone is available for a significantly longer duration as an online gift, I will be including Mega Gardevoir for this, as you can still get the Mega Stone until the end of February. Mega Gardevoir ends up being one of the better, if not the outright best Mega Evolutions you could use in these games. With phenomenal stats all around, and a powerful offensive typing of Fairy and Psychic, you can hit quite a bit of enemies for high damage. Gardevoir also gets quite a bit of coverage for the resistances like Steel to your dual stab, making it a powerful offensive threat. Similar to if you're catching Mega Gallade, you can get Ralts in either Vert Sector 4 or Vert Sector 9, but you won't need a stone this time to evolve it. You'll be fine just evolving your Gardevoir at level 30, and once you obtain that Gardevoir and claim your mystery gift for the Gardevoirite, you should be more than capable of handling most bosses in Legends ZA. So this is my list of the best mons of every single type for your journey. Let me know what Pokemon you think I may have missed in the comment section below. And while you're on the way down there, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and also subscribe, as I am planning to cover a lot of other ZA content just like this in the near future. But with that said though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all real soon.